So I went and saw the new Aladdin the day after it came out with my girlfriend, and afterwards I had a ton of conflicting feelings, which I will spill to you now. I don't know if you saw my other videos where I said I love Disney like a million times, too much, but I love Disney. The original Aladdin was one of my favorite and is one of my favorite Disney movies. And I already went into this movie thinking it would be bad because I like the original, obviously. The opening scene started with Genie in a boat for some reason with 2 kids and a woman. By the way, this video is filled with spoilers. It's pretty much telling you about the whole movie. Somewhat. I talk about the biggest parts that are important to me to talk about. But yeah, spoilers. I got mad at the opening scene for some reason. Not exactly sure why. I was just annoyed that Genie was in a boat and was human for some reason. But I admit I was just being judgy because I went in it being like, well, this movie's not going to be as good as original Aladdin, obviously. But I was excited to see it. I was excited. But then after the boat scene, the thing that seemed to annoy people the most, for some reason, I'm not sure why. Maybe I think the beginning scene and the Prince Ali scene are the 2 most controversial scenes that I think so far. Aladdin almost immediately runs into Jasmine at the start of the movie. It starts the whole One Jump Ahead song right after he saves her, which if you watch the original, that is out of order, which is fine. I know they can't copy scene for scene, but I feel like most people would agree they didn't want that. If they watched the original and went into it loving the original. I don't know. The song was a little different, just a little bit. It was a little bit longer, it felt like. I don't remember all of it because there was just girls next to me the whole time in the theater, like taking pictures with their flash on and laughing. I'm like, really? But from what I remember, it wasn't the worst song. Okay, it wasn't terrible. It ended with Aladdin not giving the kids bread, but dates. Apparently, it's a fruit in a bag. I've been told by my girlfriend. I never heard of them before, which, of course, that annoyed me at first because he gave them bread in the original. Remember, he was about to take a bite or something, and then he saw the starving kids, and then he gave the kids the bread, and Abu was like, really? That's the first thing that annoyed me in the movie. Why do little things like this annoy me? I don't know. I'm going to try and not talk about scene for scene what happened in the movie because, like I said, I want to talk about the biggest parts to me. So if you're here to like get a scene by scene review, that's not what you're getting. You're just getting an overall most important parts of the movie talked about. Next big thing for me was the cave scene when Jafar brings Aladdin to get the lamp. It actually wasn't bad. I actually liked this scene. The going in part, instead of walking down steps, sand collapsed. Abu reaching for stuff that was scattered around, and Abu slapped Aladdin when he reached for something to snap him out of it. That scene, this whole scene was actually pretty funny. It was actually good. After everything kicks off and Aladdin has the lamp, it's time for Genie to finally show up. Oh boy, Genie looked bad to me instantly. He didn't. I feel like they didn't put much effort into making him look good. This movie felt so rushed. It's freaking Disney. They couldn't make him look better. It's Disney. All right, it's Disney. Look at the Avengers movies, which I'm sure that made a lot more money. I know it did make a lot more money than Aladdin has. But it's Disney. They can do better. Will Smith did not do bad as Genie, but his version of Friend Like Me, it was. There's a part in that song in the original, I don't know if you remember, where he's supposed to say Mr. Aladdin, sir. But in his version, Will Smith's version, he says, what was your name again? And it's like, it annoyed me so much. And I realize, okay, that these little things shouldn't bug me, but they do, okay? I love Aladdin. The whole scene of him singing Friend Like Me was not nearly as good as the original at all to me. It was so off. I'm sure there's people out there who liked this one better than the original. You're crazy. I even did the whole that. Yeah, didn't live up to the original. All right, now we're out of the cave. He tricked him differently this time to get out of the cave. I think in the original, I don't really remember. I think in the original he was like, I don't believe you have the power to get me out or something. Like he was trying to pretend that he didn't believe he had the power to get him out, and he tricked him out. In this one, he made it look like he touched the lamp or something. and he didn't actually touch the lamp, because in this one the rule is you have to rub the lamp and then wish, but he didn't actually rub the lamp. The monkey just grabbed it and pulled it back, and Genie thought he rubbed it, but that he got a free wish pretty much to get out of it. So yeah, he's getting Aladdin ready to be Prince Ali, which isn't the best scene, but is the first scene where the Genie really shows his new character. Will Smith shows his version of the Genie, pretty much. I feel like this is where it comes out the most. In the very beginning, at least. It leads to the whole Prince Ali song. This scene bugged me the most out of the entire movie. This scene alone. Like I said, the movie just didn't feel finished to me. It felt rushed. There weren't as many details as there could have been. Like if you go back to the original and you look at the elephant version of Abu, he had a hat and jacket on, but in this one he just looks like an elephant. Genie doesn't change into a bunch of things like the original. Like in the original he changes into a kid, he changes into like a little tiger thing, he changes into a girl, which he did change into a girl in this version, but I think that was like the only thing he changed into that was different. I don't remember. I honestly don't. That stood out the most, but I don't remember. I need to go back and watch it. But this scene was just the biggest meh part to me. It was fun, but I was just upset the whole time because it was so different and not as good. Let's talk about the Sultan for a minute, because he's about to crash through the doors. His character was so different in this movie. He was so bland. They took away everything that was the character of the original Sultan. It's completely different. That was a huge change I did not like at all. When Genie was introducing Aladdin to the Sultan, it was actually a pretty funny scene. It might be one of my favorite scenes in the movie. This is when Genie finds the girl that he's gonna fall in love with. Yes, he falls in love with a girl this movie. And this is a big skip. There's a big chunk where I don't talk about how Genie makes Aladdin dance and like try to impress Jasmine, but Jasmine's like, oh, you showed up too much. Aladdin asks Genie to distract the handmaid for the princess, which is the girl Genie's falling in love with. Aw, yeah. Genie takes her out for a walk, and Aladdin talks to Princess Jasmine. The whole scene about like him trying to point out what, I forget what his kingdom or whatever was called on the map, but it wasn't there, and he was like, Genie, help me. And then it kicks off the whole, whole new world song. I don't know how she still doesn't know that's Aladdin. It's pretty obvious. This whole scene actually wasn't bad. They didn't do a bad job with the song either. They did a good job. I think it was the first original song that wasn't so terrible that they didn't mess up so bad. Okay, this video feels a little too long. I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit. They added 2 new songs for Jasmine, by the way, that wasn't in the original. Yeah, the actress actually has an awesome voice. She's actually really awesome. The songs weren't bad. She was actually already in an original Disney movie called Lemonade Mouth. She was called Mo, just for a little bit of backstory. I don't know if there's any backstory for Aladdin, but that's what I know about her. And this is the biggest skip, by the way. This is a huge skip. End of the movie. By the way, Aladdin's second wish was him drowning and Genie having to rub the lamp and him being like, making Aladdin sign a paper, and that because he was like dead underwater pretty much. The end of the movie was actually really good. It was good. At this point, I was getting over the fact that it was a live action Aladdin and was more seeing it as its own version of Aladdin instead of being like, this is a remake. I'm just gonna ignore it. All right, this sequel in some way. Okay. In the end, Aladdin made the wish for Genie to be free, but he made him human with no powers at all. Unlike the original. Not only that, but him and the handmaid that he was talking to earlier, that he was falling in love with earlier, they hit it off instantly and are like, hey, knock me up, please. That's what the handmaid said. She said, we're gonna have kids and we're gonna be on a boat and you're gonna tell them stories of a magical something. So that's what the intro was. That annoyed me so bad. And he explained it, and I wasn't as annoyed. It was just Genie was a human, and I was like, what is this gonna be like? Okay, so why I was annoyed was I thought that it was gonna be a story made up by this person, and that this actually was just make-believe. Ended with Aladdin and Jasmine getting married and having their wedding and having everyone dance and Genie dancing and all of that. It was a good ending. Alright, I want to say overall how I felt about the movie. The movie felt really rushed. They for sure could have put more detail into it. They're Disney. They can do it. Made Genie look better. Made Abu have more character than he had. I feel like Abu was a huge character in the cartoon, but they just made him so bland. You know what I just realized? The tiger hung out with Genie and Abu in the original, and like in this one, it's just like, huh. But yeah, they could have done a lot of things. The songs felt different for me, and so I couldn't enjoy the music as much as I, would hope. The OG Aladdin music is my favorite out of all Disney movies, so I had a high standard. Okay. Lion King being second. Will Smith didn't do bad, honestly. I plan on watching it again. I want to go back thinking differently than I did before. Maybe I'll like it more, but for now, if I had to rate it 1 through 10, I'd give it a 7, 7.5, something like that. I'll put on Twitter if my rate changes when I watch it again. At Mud1321 if you want to see that in the future, if I put it on Twitter. If you plan on seeing it, you should go see it, or just wait for digital. Alright, there's my video about Aladdin 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Aladdin. Or do you plan on seeing it, or are you just like, who cares? OG Aladdin, okay? Subscribe to see a video every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you in the next one.